I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of this newsletter is going to be, I can't live in limbo anymore. Well, as a man, you should never put yourself in a position where you're waiting on a woman to make a decision. You're sitting around, dithering around while your life is going by. Because masculine energy is about purpose, drive, mission, succeeding, accomplishing things in life. And if you're on a mission to achieve your purpose, you're not going to stop and sit around and dither and walk around in circles waiting for a woman to make her decision. The idea is you invite her to join you, invite her to join you for a drink, come hang out in your fun bus, so to speak. And if she can't or she's unsure, then just tell her, hey, well, give me a call when you figure it out, and we'll hang out then, we'll make plans then. And then you go about your life. You go back to focusing on your mission and your purpose. You don't ever stop what you're doing and wait on a woman to make a decision. When a woman sees the guy doing that, it's weak. It causes her to be unsure of herself because he's putting his life and his purpose on hold for her, in order for her to make a decision about whether or not she wants to be with him or date him or go out with him, whatever it happens to be. It's always a bad place to be, because when a man expects or puts his balls in a box, in essence, and gives it to a woman and says, hey, why don't you make a decision? Why don't you make all the choices for us? She doesn't want the power. Women want to show up, look hot, be entertained, have fun, and be seduced. That's the bottom fucking line. Feminine energy is about opening up to receive love. I mean, their bodies are physically designed and set up to receive us. So you have to focus on your purpose and your mission above everything else in life, even if it means the relationship may end. When a guy has to go off to war and fight because it's his duty, it's what he signed up for, and a woman says, I don't want you to go, he has to go. Even if he stays and says, okay, well, I'm going to go AWOL and I'm not going to go because you don't want anything to happen to me. Even if she said, oh, I like it, I love the fact that you're staying here, deep down she will resent it, because at the end of the day, as a man, she knows it's your obligation and your duty, and men should handle their duty. And so I've got a quote here that I want to share. This is by Jim Rohn, and it has to do with this subject because as a man, you got to be focused on your goals and your mission in life. And Jim said, the ultimate reason for setting goals is to entice you to become the person it takes to achieve them. As a man, you need to focus on being awesome at whatever it is that you're awesome at in life. Whatever your skills, your gifts, your talents, that's the direction that you need to be moving in, because the more you do things that you love and you enjoy, the happier you're going to be. And the happier you're going to be, the bigger the smile that's going to be on your face. You're going to stand taller, you're going to stand prouder. And so when you're in a mall or the grocery store or anywhere else, other people are going to notice that, especially women, and they're going to look at you completely different. They'll find you attractive as opposed to some other poor schmuck that's walking around looking at the ground, depressed, going, my life sucks. Gee, I really wish I had a girl to like me, or a girlfriend, as opposed to a guy who's on a mission, who's going about like he's got a purpose and like he's moving with a purpose. It's a completely different vibe. And when she sees a guy moving with a purpose, she's going to notice. But when she sees the typical dude staring at the ground, he's unhappy, he's overweight, his clothes are kind of disheveled, he doesn't look very happy, he looks her in the eye and then he looks away submissively because he doesn't have any confidence. So I got this email here, and we're going to go through it. And this guy's basically put himself in a position where he's re-attracted this girl, but he keeps screwing up when he gets her back, and then it causes her to become unsure. And so let's go through his email. He says, hi, Corey. First off, I have to tell you that I'm aware of how much I messed things up. I met this girl 5 years ago, and at first I felt no attraction for her, but we had a great connection, so we became best friends. After a while, the attraction showed up, and we ended together. It was great for the first year or so, but eventually I became very needy, a very needy excuse for a man. He says, after 2 years, she dumped me, and I was quite shocked. Most guys usually are. But immediately went full no contact. During the first 2 months of no contact, I realized what a pathetic, needy boyfriend I had become. But, well, you learn from your mistakes, and I eventually moved on with my life. I got some new hobbies, I traveled a bit, hooked up with a few girls, had some sex, but I really felt empty inside. See, I mean, it takes time to get over things. It's like you kind of get back in the rhythm of life, and you start licking your wounds. And because it's like when you are the one that gets dumped and you really pretty much have no choice in the matter, that's the worst place to be because you feel powerless. It's like she wanted to get rid of you, and you wanted to stay in the relationship, and you wanted to continue working on things, but she didn't. So he says, then I decided to make a great step and to go on completely go to the other side of the world, and it occupied my time and my mind. And so 4 months after the breakup, my ex suddenly contacted me. I'm shocked. Because what happens is they interact with other guys, and you figure 97% of the dudes out there aren't succeeding, don't know this stuff, and they get hit on enough times by enough guys that don't know what the hell they're doing. They're going to think, that guy, I should give him a call. And then she picks up the phone and calls you. Wants to know, hey, just calling to say hello. That's not really why she's calling. She's calling to see if there's still a chance that you may be interested and you want to maybe hang out, have fun, and hook up again. He says, we talked. I told her about my plans to move out of the country, and she seemed quite sad about it. And a week before my trip was scheduled, I found out that I had to have surgery due to problems with my back. And my ex, she didn't know about the surgery, and so she asked to meet up before I go. So we met, and the same night we ended up in bed. What a coinky-dink. Then she begged me for weeks to forgive her for dumping me and that she doesn't want me to go on because she doesn't want to lose me. We dated some time during my recovery, and she begged me to stay and give her another chance, so I did. Big fucking mistake, dude. You wanted to go on this adventure. That's purpose. That's mission. That's drive. That's the whole reason you're here, is to go on this adventure. But instead, you threw all this shit aside because your girl said, no, I want you to stay here. And you went, okay, I'll stay here. I'll do what you want. It's just a bad way to go. Because you're not being a man. It's like, that's why she's excited about you again. She comes back to you after 4 months, and you got your excitement back, you got your mojo back, you're planning this extensive journey on the other side of the world, and then you just throw it all away, and you go right back to being the boring, dull, needy, insecure pleaser that she blew off. So it's like, in other words, you quit doing what had made you successful at that point. He says it was great at first. Of course it was. She was the one that was quite pressuring the relationship. She wanted us to move in together as soon as possible and stuff. Yeah, because she's pursuing you. When you're in this position, when you're dating or you're in a relationship or you're married, a woman should do 70 to 80% of the calling, texting, and pursuing. I don't care how much they protest and they say that's a bunch of BS. The bottom line is they respond a lot better. I've been using this in my life for over a decade and a half, and I've been teaching this stuff to thousands of guys all over the world. Ultra-conservative societies, doesn't matter. Women respond to what they respond to, so I know this stuff works. So, I mean, at the end of the day, 78% of calling, texting, pursuing should be initiated by the woman, and the fallback position, always the guy should call like once a week and invite her to do something. But if you're in a relationship and the girl's calling you or texting you 2 or 3 times a day, the only time you're going to be responding or reaching out to her is if you're responding to a message or a text she's already left you. So that makes it pretty easy. Then you just make the next date to hang out, have fun, and hook up. Why complicate things? She's rewarding you by putting herself into your orbit in hopes that you want to see her again quickly. And so you're basically willing to move the relationship along as quick as she's willing to pursue you. And then the whole relationship becomes her idea in essence. And that's why you don't have to focus on relationship. You just need to focus on hanging out, having fun, and hook up. And she'll keep coming and chasing you and pursuing you more and more and more until about 2 months into it, 2.5 months into it, she's in love with you, and she brings up, basically letting you know that she doesn't want you dating or sleeping with any other woman other than her. And obviously you have the choice at that point to agree to be in a relationship or say, well, I'm not ready yet, let's just see how things go. He says, when I finally started to put down my brakes and got invested in our new relationship, she started to drift away. Yeah, so your relationship became your purpose instead of going and traveling the world, because you could have easily said, hey, I'm leaving next month. Why don't you meet me out there? Why don't you, maybe once a month she can fly out to where you're at and hang out, have fun, and hook up the whole time that she's out there. He says, and for some unknown reason, contrary to everything I learned, I started to push. And she dropped off the radar. I tried to talk things over, but all I could get from her was, I don't know, I'm not ready. And that's why you should have said, I love you, honey, but I'm going on my adventure, and it's been great. Give me a call if you want to maybe buy a ticket and fly on out to meet me and join me in my adventure. Otherwise, this is great. Keep in touch. I love you. I adore you, but I got to run. He says I guess he says he went back to no contact, but after a month I snapped, so I simply text her, okay, I see you're avoiding me, so just give me the simple, straight, and honest answer. Do you want us both to try and make things right, or is it time for me to pack up my bags and go? You're asking her to make a decision. Women don't want to make the decision. That's a man's job to do. She wants you to do whatever the fuck you want to do as a man. That's what she deep down really wants. And then, in essence, you just slid her your balls in a box and said, okay, I want you to be the man. And she's like, she doesn't know what to do with that. She doesn't want to have to make the decision. It's too much pressure. She wants you to make the decision and take the lead so she can either follow and go along with you in your adventure or go join some other dude's adventure. He says, she replied, I don't know what I want, but I don't want you to go. It sounded so selfish. Well, it's true. She didn't want you to go because she's unsure of how she felt. And what you need to do is say, well, I don't want to sit around here and wait on this. I'm going to go on my adventure. So get off your ass, buy your fucking plane ticket, buy your ticket on the boat, and go. He says, so I have no clue what to do anymore. I can't talk to her because I don't get any answers. I go no contact, but it looks like it has no effect. Maybe I just didn't try it long enough, but we didn't break up. I left her space and gave her a chance to simply break up again, and she did. She just told me she doesn't want me to go. That's why you need to go. You need to handle your shit, dude. You need to go on your mission in life and your adventure. Who knows? Maybe you encounter some multi-millionaire or future business partner of yours in one of the hotel lobbies. You strike up a conversation. You end up going to work for him, or he invests in your company, your business. And who knows where that takes you? That's why you got to get out there in life. The key to circulation, or the key to health, the key to your body is circulating. I mean, think about it. If your heart stopped pumping, you would die. If a tree in nature stops growing, it dies. If the grass stops growing, it dies. If you stop moving, you ultimately, eventually, will die. Bodies in motion, this is basic physics, tend to stay in motion. Bodies at rest tend to stay at rest. He says, I really love her and I don't want to lose her, but I can't live in limbo anymore. So is it really time for me to pack up my bags and just let it go? Is there a chance to make it work? Stop focusing on that. It's not important. The only thing that's important is that you be a fucking man and get on with your life and your mission and your purpose in life. This sounds like an exciting adventure and an exciting trip. So if I were you, book your trip and say I'm leaving in a week or two. I'd love to get together and see you before I go, but if not, that's cool too. I mean, you got to have a take it or leave it attitude. Just say, hey, I'm getting ready to head out of town. I bought my ticket. I'm going to be gone for 6 months or a year, whatever happens to be. And I'd love to see you before I go. When are you free to get together? Make a date, hang out, have fun, and hook up. And she's like, I don't want you to go. Just say, baby, all you got to do, I'm just a plane ticket away. So I'm just a plane ticket away. Just say that to her. And go about your life. And more than likely she'll reach out to you and text you and tell her where you're going to be. And tell her what airport to buy a ticket to. And let her fly out and meet you for however long she wants to stay. And when she goes, let her go. And when she's away, meet chicks in the city where you're at when you're on your adventure. That's what you need to do. You need to focus on your adventure and your purpose. See, what happened was you got off of your purpose and you got focused on your woman as your purpose. And that's why she can't make a decision, because she doesn't want to make the decision. She wants you to figure out what it is that you want to do and what you want to be, so she can maybe potentially be excited about that and join you on your journey. You have to be the leader. Masculine energy, that's leadership energy. So that's what I would do if I were you. Get on with your life. Get out of the house. Get on a plane and go enjoy yourself. And the thing with your chick, she'll start calling you. She'll start texting you. She'll start telling you how much she misses you. Say, hey, well, I'm going to be in Istanbul next month, and here's the airport. Book a ticket between whatever the dates are and fly out there to see me. So if you want to get my help, you can go to my website right now. Click the products tab at the top of your screen and just follow the instructions for booking a paid phone coaching session. If you want to get a digital version of my Kindle ebook, on my website underneath the email sign-up box is a box that has a link that'll take you right to the Amazon Kindle download page. And if you don't have a Kindle device, just download one of their free e-reader apps for whatever electronic device you want to read my book on when you get there. And I will talk to you soon.